Ms. Ann Njeri Nderitu from Nyandarua County, Mr. Moses Alutalala Muhwana from Kakamega County, Ms. Mary Karen Sorbit from Uasin Gishu County, Mr. Hassan Nur Hassan from Mandera County, Mr. Francis Odhiambo Adwol from Kisumu County, and Ms. Fahima Arafat Abdallah from Lamu County. Honorable members, you will recall that on Friday, 9th May 2025, I issued a notification number 007 of 2025 in which I conveyed that I had received a message from His Excellency the President and pursuant to Standing Order 42.3c, referred the said message together with the certificate of presidential nomination and the CVs of the nominees to the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs. The committee was to undertake the necessary approval hearings pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 45 and the resolution of the House of 13th February 2025. I also directed the clerk to transmit the notification to all members of the National Assembly. And in this regard, honorable members, we shall wait for the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs to notify the House as soon as it concludes the approval hearings. The House is accordingly guided. Members at the bar, take the nearest seats. Member for Turkana, the nearest seat excludes sprinting across the floor. Member for Viga, what is your idea of the nearest seat? Yes, Honorable Otienda Mola.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in consideration of your communication, and it may not be in my place because my chairman is here, but I do not want to lose the moment. In respect of that, having forwarded the nominees to the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, Mr. Speaker, I was hoping that you'd give a further direction in view of events that have since occurred. Mr. Speaker, Chairman Murugara let us know, and we were notified of a court case that was subsequently filed and a stay that was issued, and that the matter is coming up again on 29th. And that, I believe, has put the committee in limbo and has not therefore undertaken what it ought to have undertaken. And yet, the wording of Section 8 of the Act you've just referred to appears mandatory within 14 days. And I think, Mr. Speaker, therefore, you may have to give further guidance to us and the House. One, as to whether, in view of the wording of that decision, the entire process is suspended until determined, or two, in any event, whether time then stops running from the time that order was issued so that the 14 days are extended, or three, whether, depending on the decision that is made on Thursday the 29th, within the time limited, that process can still be undertaken. I'm hoping, Mr. Speaker, you'll give the House further guidance. Thank you.
And four, if I can help you, whether a parliamentary process can be injuncted.
Indeed, that I had canvassed that within the first one. By saying whether in view of the nature of the orders given, the process can continue or be suspended. And I think that's the most fundamental one.
Absolutely, Senior Counsel, my mind is very clear. I'll give you direction tomorrow. And both yourself and the Honorable Murugara, and indeed your committee, may wish tomorrow after prayer breakfast, come to my chamber so that we can have some jurisprudential tete-a-tete. The second message, honorable members. Honorable Bashir, you look very mobile today. Can you take your seat? Thank you. Honorable members, the second message is also from His Excellency the President on nomination of persons for appointment as members of the National Police Service Commission. Honorable members, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 42, I wish to convey a message from His Excellency the President regarding the nomination of persons for appointment as members of the National Police Service Commission. In the message, honorable members, His Excellency the President conveys that in exercise of powers conferred on him by Article 246(2) and 252 of the Constitution and Section 6(5) of the National Police Service Commission Act Cap 85, he has nominated the following persons for appointment as members of the National Police Service Commission and now seeks approval for appointment by this House. Ms. Peris Mudhoni Kimani, nominated pursuant to Article 246(2)(2) of the Constitution, being a retired senior officer of the Kenya Police Service. Mr. Benjamin Juma Imai, nominated pursuant to Article 246(2)(2) of the Constitution, being a retired senior officer of the Administration Police Service, APS. Professor Coletta A. Suda, PhD, nominated pursuant to Article 246(2)(3 of the Constitution, being a person of integrity who has served the public with distinction. Honorable members, Standing Order 45 provides that upon receipt of notification of a nomination for appointment, such nomination shall stand committed to the relevant departmental committee for consideration. In this regard, I hereby refer the message from His Excellency the President, together with the curriculum vitae, the report of the selection panel, and other testimonials of the nominees to the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security for consideration. Honorable members, Section 6(6) of the National Police Service Act Cap 85 provides that the relevant committee of the National Assembly shall consider the nominees and table a report in the House within 21 days. In this regard, the committee is expected to immediately commence the approval process and notify the nominees and the general public of the time and place for holding the approval hearings. Thereafter, upon conclusion of the hearings, the committee should table its report on or before Wednesday, 11th June 2025, to enable the House to consider the matter within the statutory timelines. Honorable members, the next message is a message from the Senate on approval of nominees for appointment to the board of the Central Bank. Pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 41(4), relating to messages from the Senate, I wish to report to the House that I have received a message from the Senate dated 7th May 2025 regarding the approval of nominees for appointment to the board of Central Bank of Kenya. The message conveys that by a resolution made on 7th May 2025, the Senate approved the appointment of the following persons as members of the board of Central Bank of Kenya: FCPA Sophie Moturi, CPA Abdullahi Mohamed Abdi, Ms. Beatrice Kosgei, and Mr. David Simpson Osawa Owor. Fellow members, you recall that the approval process for the nominees to the position of members of the Board of Central Bank of Kenya was jointly conducted by the respective committees of the Houses of Parliament. You will further recall that on 30th April 2025, the National Assembly approved the appointment of the nominees, and in this regard, the approval by the Senate now concludes the bicameral approval of the appointments, and the appointing authority has since been notified, and the House is accordingly guided. The last message, honorable members, is a message from the Judiciary. Members at the bar, take the nearest seats. Musa Sirma, take the nearest seat. Thank you, honorable members. Honorable members, the message from the Judiciary is on the nomination of persons for appointment as the chairperson and members of the Public Benefit Organizations Disputes Tribunal. Honorable members, I wish to report to the House that I have received a message from the Honorable Chief Justice and the President of the Supreme Court of Kenya regarding the nomination of persons for appointment as chairperson and members of the Public Benefit Organizations Disputes Tribunal. In the message, the Honorable Chief Justice conveys that in accordance with the provision of Section 50 of the Public Benefits Organization Act 2013, she has appointed the following persons as chairperson and members of the Public Benefits Organizations Disputes Tribunal and now seeks the approval of the National Assembly. Ms. Eunice Adoyo Otieno Arwa, chairperson. Ms. Christabel Mideva Eboso, member. Ms. Elizabeth Mbithe Mulwa, member. Dr. Leonard Kinyulus, member. And Mr. Mohammed Sheikh Noor, member. For clarity, honorable members, Section 50 of the Public Benefits Organization Act 2013 provides, and I quote, "There is hereby established a tribunal to be known as the Public Benefits Organizations Disputes Tribunal, which shall consist of members appointed by the Chief Justice and approved by the National Assembly as follows. A chairperson who shall be an advocate of the High Court of Kenya of not less than 7 years standing, 2 advocates of the High Court of not less than 5 years standing, 2 persons having such specialized skills or knowledge necessary for the discharge of the functions of the tribunal." Honorable members, Standing Order 45.1 provides that upon receipt of a notification of nomination for appointment to a state office or such other office, the nomination shall stand committed to the relevant departmental committee of the House for consideration. In this regard, I hereby refer the names together with the CVs and other testimonials of the nominees to the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs to undertake the necessary approval hearings. Honorable members, whereas the Public Benefits Organizations Act 2013 does not expressly provide for the timeline within which the House considers the respective nominees, Section 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act Cap 7F requires the committee to which nominations are referred shall consider the matter and table a report in the House for debate and decision within 28 days. In this regard, therefore, the committee is directed to expeditiously commence the approval process and notify the nominees and the general public of the time and place for holding the approval hearings. The committee should table its report by Wednesday, 18th June 2025 to enable the House to consider the matter within the statutory timelines. I thank you. Next.
Order number 5, order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Majority Leader.
Right here, sir. Honorable Speaker, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, May 27th, 2025. A, legal notice number 195 of 2024 relating to the Public Finance Management Public Officers Medical Scheme Fund, Regulations 2024 and the explanatory memorandum from the National Treasury and Economic Planning. B, legal notice number 38 of 2025 relating to the Central Depositories, Regulations of Central Depositories Amendment Rules 2025, evidence of stakeholders' engagement and the explanatory memorandum from the National Treasury and Economic Planning. C, legal notice number 88 of 2025 relating to the Code of Conduct for Media Practice 2025 from the Ministry of Information, Communication and Digital Economy. D, the agreement between the Government of the Republic of Singapore and the Government of the Republic of Kenya for the elimination of double taxation with respect to taxes on income and prevention of tax evasion and avoidance between the Government of the Republic of Kenya and the Government of the Republic of Singapore from the National Treasury and Economic Planning. E, submission of nominees for the National Government Constituencies Development Fund for the following constituencies, Honorable Speaker: Banisa, Bomachoge, Butere, Buri, Embakasi Central, Galole, Ganze, Garissa, Ijara, Jomvu, Juja, Kabuchai, Keiti, Kamukunji, Kilifi, Kilome, Kimilili, Kuria East, Ladera, Loima, Lugari, Matayos, Matungu, Moyale, Msambweni, Muhoroni, Mvita, Nyali, Nyando, Nyaribari, Masaba, Nyatike, Rabai, Rangwe, Samburu East, Sotik, Suna West, Taveta, Teso North, Tongaren, Turukana Central, Turukana West, and Vihiga. Honorable Speaker, I thank you.
Chairperson, Committee on Regional Integration. Who is the chairperson? Irene, go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 27th May 2025. Report of the Committee on Regional Integration on a study visit to the European Union and the European Parliament from the 9th to the 13th of September 2024. I thank you.
Thank you. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Junet Mohammed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of adjournment of the House on definite matter of urgent national importance to discuss the threats by the former Deputy President on the recurrence of post-election violence in the country. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to provisions of Standing Order 331, I seek leave for the adjournment of the House for purposes of discussing a definite matter of urgent national importance regarding the threats by the former Deputy President on the occurrence of post-election violence in the country. Honorable Speaker, on 16th May 2025, while attending an interview, the former Deputy President was on record alluding to a recurrence of the post-election violence experienced in 2007-2008. Arising from alleged planned electoral malpractices in the upcoming 2027 general elections, the former Deputy President issued veiled threats and calls to violence which left unchecked are likely to endanger the security and the well-being of our nation. Given the recommendations of the Truth, Justice and Reconciliation Commission, TJRC, and the Commission of Inquiry into the Post-Election Violence that led to the persons being taken to The Hague, it behoves the House to discuss and condemn any person dreaming or aspiring to take the country to the dark days. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek leave for the adjournment of the House to discuss the matter of great national concern. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Of the requisite support. The support is overwhelming. I will take your seats, honorable members. I'll direct that this matter be disposed of in the shortest time possible, and I'll allocate 1.5 hours to the motion starting 4 p.m. this afternoon. In the event we get to 4 p.m. and we are still having business like statements, they will be stepped down. You got the motion, and then thereafter we can proceed with what is left of the other businesses. Thank you. Honorable members, allow me to acknowledge in the Speaker's gallery a recognition of staff from the Parliament of Ghana. I wish to introduce to you 2 staff members from the Parliament of Ghana who are seated in the Speaker's gallery. The officers are on a week-long benchmarking visit to Parliament, collaborating with our Directorate of Legal Services to enhance the capacity of the legal officers in areas relating to comparative legal frameworks, governance and law reform processes, technology and innovation in legal service delivery, committee support systems with legal frameworks, and judicial processes and practices. Honorable members, on my behalf and on behalf of the House, I welcome the members of staff from the Parliament of Ghana, and as they say in Ghana, Aguaba. Aguaba members means Karibu. Take your seats, members. Honorable members, also in the Speaker's Gallery, I acknowledge St. Teresa's Bikeke High School from Kiminini, Trans Nzoia. In the public gallery, the students, when your school is mentioned, you stand up for acknowledgement, then you take your seats. Very good, you can now take your seats. In the public gallery, we have Tengecha Boys High School from Bureti, Kericho. Ndururumo High School from Laikipia West, Laikipia. And Siungi Secondary School from Wingi Central, Kitui. I've been requested by the Honorable Member from Wingi Central to welcome the school from his constituency, and in the same vein, Honorable Mulyungi, you can welcome all the other students on behalf of your colleagues. 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I take this opportunity to welcome all the schools which are here to Parliament, and in particular my school, Siungi Secondary School, which I work with. Mr. Speaker, I want to encourage all the students who are here to work very hard so that one day they can aspire to be members of Parliament and senior public officers. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Member for Kilifi, Gertrude Mbeyu. Honorable Member for Kilifi, she is where? Is Gertrude Mbeyu in the house? I don't think she is. Statement dropped. Honorable Amina Muyanzi, member for Malindi. Go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of the Standing Order 42C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Health regarding the impact of the recent withdrawal of U.S. aid funding on healthcare financing in the country. Honorable Speaker, on January 20th, 2025, U.S. President Donald J. Trump issued an executive order titled Reevaluating and Realigning United States Foreign Aid. The order imposed a 90-day pause on all U.S. foreign development assistance programs to allow for comprehensive review. This decision has disrupted billions of dollars earmarked for health, education, and development worldwide, with no exemptions for essential health programs such as the Presidential's Emergency Plan for AIDS relief. Honorable Speaker, access to healthcare service is not only a right guaranteed under the Article 43 of the Constitution, but also a vital driver of economic growth, public health, and environmental sustainability. USAID has historically been a major contributor to Kenya's health sector, funding programs in HIV/AIDS treatment, malaria prevention, and maternal health care. Notably, over 25% of the country's annual HIV-related health budget relies on U.S. government funding, and direct U.S. support accounts for 29% of the HIV medicines available in the country. Unfortunately, all USAID health programs in the country are scheduled to end by September 2025. The resulting funding gap threatens to disrupt life-saving treatments and services, directly impacting thousands of patients across the country. It is projected that 54,000 healthcare workers could lose their jobs, while institutions such as the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority face deficits amounting to Kenya shillings 600 million, hampering the availability of critical medical supplies essential for both prevention and ongoing patient support. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Health on the following. 1. Report on the measures being undertaken by the government to address the impact of the recent withdrawal of USAID funding in Kenya, which has previously supported critical health sectors such as HIV/AIDS treatment, malaria prevention, and maternal care. 2. Current status of essential drug supplies for all the critical sectors supported by USAID, including whether there are sufficient stocks available, and indicate how long these supplies are expected to last given the current national demand. And 3, the immediate and long-term action plans by the government to mitigate the negative effects arising from the USAID funding withdrawal, including ensuring uninterrupted healthcare services for the affected populations. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chair Health. How much time do you need to bring a response?
Under 2 weeks, we will get the response.
Under 2 weeks?
Yes.
So you can do next week?
I can do next week.
Okay, Thursday next week. Amos Mwago. Amos Mwago, member for Starehe. Third time, Amos Mwago, statement dropped. Honorable members, I'll have a reorganization in a small way of the order of business, so that I'm sure members, you have seen your supplementary order paper, so that we can go to order number 8 for the majority leader to move a procedural motion. Thereafter, do first reading at order number 9 and 10. Then we come back to the statements. So read out. 28 calendar of the Assembly and 33 hours of meeting, this House resolves to alter its calendar 1 so as not to hold a morning sitting on Wednesday, 28th May 2025, 2, to commence the short recess of the second part on Friday, 27th June 2025, and 3, to resume regular sittings on Tuesday, 22nd July 2025, to continue with the second part of the fourth session. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 9, the Finance Bill, National Assembly Bill number 19 of 2025, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to amend the laws relating to various taxes and duties and for matters incidental thereto. Order number 10, the County Assembly Services Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 34 of 2023, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to amend the County Assembly Services Act and for connected purposes.
Thank you. We'll go back to order number 7, statements, responses to statements. Member for Saboti Kalebamisi is in the house. Tongoyo, this is your response. The member is not in the house, so we'll skip that. Member for Kilgoris, Julius Olesunguli. Tongoyo again. Honorable Sunguli called the speaker, indicating he was away in Geneva, and requests this statement to be responded to by Thursday this week. So clerk, you schedule it for Thursday, 2:30. Honorable James Onyango Koyo, Chair, Agriculture and Livestock. Honorable Dr. Mutunga, does anybody have a brief from Agriculture? Is Koyo in the house? Double tragedy. Koyo is not here. The chair is not here. The statement response is stayed. Honorable Karoli Omondi. Yes, sir. Chair Agriculture. The Chair Agriculture, Karoli, is not in the house. I said Chair Agriculture to you, Karoli, is not in the house. So we will stay the response to later in the week. The clerk will juggle with the number. We have a lot of statements that we put for the first week after recess. Yes, Karoli?
Honorable Chair, it is quite unfortunate that we don't have the chair of Agricultural Committee. But so much is happening in the sugar sector that is causing a lot of disquiet to farmers and to a lot of stakeholders. And I think the chair has to take this matter very seriously. Actually, that is part of the reason why I've come to caucus with Honorable Wangwe and the other members from Western Kenya. We need these answers. I think we must address the issue of the illegal leasing of the sugar mills without consultation, without public participation, and creating cartels where we were supposed to be dealing with other issues. So, Honorable Chair, please use your powers to make sure they come to the floor of the House. And
Majority Leader, you direct the Chair Agriculture to respond to this statement on Tuesday afternoon. Honorable Deco Barrow, Garissa Town, you're in the House. Chair Education. Anybody with a brief from Honorable Meli, Chair Education? Majority Leader, where are your chairman today? Honorable Deco will stay the statement to next week. Honorable Julius Taitumu is in the House. Yes. Chair Education, you suffer the same fate, is not here. So we'll stay your response to next week. Joseph Lekuton, Embala Isamis. Very good, you are present. Chair Energy. Honorable Gikaria.
Honorable Speaker, we did respond to this, but the member said he's not satisfied. We have called the Cabinet Secretary to come before us on Tuesday, so we'll be inviting the Member of Parliament to be able to come.
Tuesday next week?
Tuesday next week.
That is the 3rd of June.
Yes, the 3rd of June.
Honorable Lekuton, you go and
Chair.
prosecute your statement before the committee on Tuesday.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll do that.
Honorable Mother Wangari, MP Gilgil, response from Finance, National Planning. Honorable Wangari, I recall I gave authority to the Finance Committee to sit the whole of today to take public views on the proposed finance bill, so they are legitimately away. We'll stay your request to next week. If it can be put for Wednesday afternoon next week. Joshua Kimilu, member for Kaiti. Is he in the house? Is not in the house. Social protection. Alice Nganga. She's not here. Response stayed to next week. Muchangi Karemba, member for Runyenjes. Chair Transport. GK. The member is not here. We'll stay the statement to next week. Member for Mukurweini, John Kagusha. John Kagusha. Members, 2 committees are been allowed to sit. Probably some of these members are in those committees, Budget and Finance. Chair Transport, were you ready with the statement response? Kagusha is not here. We stayed to next week. Honorable members, that brings us to the end of statements, both requests and responses. We go back to the order paper, and now we go to order number 11. Clerk.
Order number 11, motion, ratification of the treaty establishing the Intergovernmental Authority on Development. Resumption of debate.
Hold on. Yes. Who was on the floor? It concluded. Okay, honorable members, my record shows that Honorable Rasso had concluded his contribution to this motion. Yes, Honorable Owen Bayer.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, on the motion on order number 11, we canvassed this motion, and I think members agreed and the interest was overwhelming. And I think, Honorable Speaker, the most important things were said that day. If you allow, then we could put would ask the mover to reply on this motion, so that
you don't need to make a speech. You simply say, I beg to move that the mover be called upon to reply.
Exactly like that, Honorable Speaker, you have said it. So I beg to request that the mover be called to reply, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Is that the mood of the House?
Yes.
Mover? Is that Koech or Bashir?
Bashir.
Bashir, go ahead and reply.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to reply.
Order, Yegon, take a seat. Honorable members, I'll now put the question at order number 11, which is that this House adopts the report of the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations on its consideration of the treaty establishing the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 1st April 2025, and pursuant to the provision of Section 8(4) of the Treaty Making and Ratification Act, Cap 4D, approves the ratification of the treaty establishing the Intergovernmental Authority on Development. As members of that opinion say aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 12, motion. Third report on consideration of the audited accounts of specified state corporations.
Is this Honorable Wangwe? Yes. Honorable Wangwe, proceed to move your motion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to move the motion that this House adopts the third report of the Public Investments Committee on Social Services, Administration and Agriculture on its consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of the following state corporations, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 3rd July 2024. 1. Kenyatta National Hospital for financial year 2018-2019 and 2019-2020. 2. Kenya Medical Supplies Authority, financial year 2017-2018 and 2018-2019. 3. Kenya Veterinary Board, financial year 2018-2019, 2019-2020 to 2022 and 2020-2021. 4. National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse, financial years 2017-18, 2018-19, 2019-20, and 2020-21, and Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, financial years 2000 to 2000, 2001, 2001, 2002, and 2 and 3, 2003 and 4, and 4 and 5, and 5 and 6, and 6 and 7, and 7 and 8, and 8 and 9, and 9 and 10, 2010, 2011, 2011, 2012, and 2012, 2013. Honorable Speaker, as you can see, Honorable Speaker, looking at the various state agencies as listed on the order paper, they range from various years, ranging from the years 2018, 2019, and some also, Honorable Speaker, dating way down to the years 2000 to 2013. Honorable Speaker, without really going into the history of the functions of the Public Investments Committee, in general, Honorable Speaker, we did make various observations which were general and some were being specific, Honorable Speaker. To look at the issues that were general, Honorable Speaker, across the 5 state agencies as listed on the order paper, Honorable Speaker, the committee observed and noted with concern the Kenyatta National Hospital, Kenya Medical Supplies Authority, and Kenya Broadcasting Corporation did not possess title deeds, title documents for land and buildings in their occupation. Honorable Speaker, specifically Kenyatta National Hospital did not possess title deed
for the various parcels of land. Some were illegally and unprocedurally carved out and registered in the name of private developers who are compensated, Honorable Speaker, by the government after compulsory acquisition. Further, Honorable Speaker, KEMSA did not possess title deed for 7 parcels of land spread across the country and valued at 158 million shillings, Honorable Speaker, for which the authority did not have, Honorable Speaker. In addition, KBC does not have title deeds, Honorable Speaker, for other documents or other documents of legal ownership for 32 parcels of land. Honorable Speaker, the title deed for title deed LR number 209/5918, Broadcasting House, Nairobi, measuring 2.8 acres, in which the KBC headquarters are situated, was in the name of Chief Secretary, Colony and Protectorate of Kenya, a body, Honorable Speaker, corporate duly established by the Chief Secretary in Corporation Ordinance in 1958. Honorable Speaker, we sit here, but the parcel of land on which the broadcasting house is located, sitting on, does not belong to KBC, Honorable Speaker. We don't understand why, to date, the documents have not been changed to read Kenya Broadcasting Corporation or the latest name before Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. It should be noted, Honorable Speaker, that under the international public sector accounting standards, an entity can only recognize sales in books of accounts if it has ownership documents to those assets. And Honorable Speaker, looking at all the assets, even if we are estimating the figures at 158 million worthy of land, Honorable Speaker, this is at the original cost. This is not at the cost as it is now, because valuation could not have been taken place since there are no title deeds. Honorable Speaker, the committee recommended with the specifications that, 1, within 3 months upon adoption of this report, let the accounting officers liaise with the relevant government agencies, that is the Ministry of Lands and National Land Commission, to ensure that they secure ownership documents of all corporation land and report back to the National Assembly. We also recommend, Honorable Speaker, on that clause of land, that after adoption within 2 months, Honorable Speaker, of this report, let the Cabinet Secretary for Lands, Housing and Urban Development and the Chairperson National Land Commission put caveats on all the parcels of state corporations' land that are in private hands and report back to the National Assembly. Honorable Speaker, particularly on this clause, we are addressing the issue of land in private hands at Kenyatta National Hospital and also land in private hands owned by KBC, Honorable Speaker. Within 6 months also, Honorable Speaker, upon adoption of this report, let the accounting officers through the NLC prioritize and expedite resolving ownership issues surrounding parcels of land belonging to the state corporations and report to the National Assembly. Honorable Speaker, also we realize, which we had cross-cutting issues, delay in availing documents to the authority, to the Auditor General. Most of the issues, Honorable Speaker, we found out that various state corporations, out of the 5, Honorable Speaker, what cut across was delay in availing documents, Honorable Speaker, to the Office of the Auditor General. I want to bring to the attention of the House, Honorable Speaker, a specific entity like KBC, whose accounting documents, Honorable Speaker, for 5 years is missing. In between an audit year of account, they don't have records for a full 5-year period. Honorable Speaker, it defeats logic to say a corporation does not have documents to be audited by an Auditor General. This is a big issue, and Honorable Speaker, it's important that this House adopts this report so that we can enforce the issues to do with filing of documents to the Office of the Auditor General. Honorable Speaker, in that aspect, we recommended, therefore, that the accounting officers should comply with the provisions of Section 68, Part 2 of the PFM Act, especially 2012, which requires that they must submit the documents for audit within the particular years, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, cross-cutting issues also that we saw among the 5 state agencies was poor governance and weak internal controls. There were delays in appointments of the board of directors. Honorable Speaker, there is a tendency by the executive to delay appointment of board of directors of the various state corporations, and particularly what we noted was the issue of KEMSA did not have substantive board chair since 9th of October 2015, following the expiry of the second term of the chair and did not have a substantive chief executive officer from 1st January 2017 to 30th June 2018. Honorable Speaker, it defeats logic that a state corporation can exist without a chair, and yet we needed to spend, we needed to be accountable. And moreover, like the issue of KEMSA, where there was no chair, no CEO for a period within which we are stating, Honorable Speaker. Further, Kenya Veterinary Board's tenure for the Board of Directors dated 20th March 2021, and a new board had not been appointed as at 30th June 2021. Honorable Speaker, that's a big difference, variance that required we need to have a board in place. Honorable Speaker, what did we do? Our recommendation was within 3 months upon adoption of this report, let the Inspector General Inspector of State Corporations, with the help of National Assembly, should initiate the process of amending the State Corporations Act to make it clear that no entity should be allowed to make any financial commitment without properly constituted board. Honorable Speaker, there were also matters pending in court that were cutting across. The committee observed that a number of litigations concerning ownership of land, the state corporation, and other legal matters have been pending before the courts of law for long period of time, despite resolution of the House through previous PIC's reports. Honorable Speaker, you find so many, out of all these 5 state agencies, they have matters in court which are dating back some to 2008 to date, and they've not been resolved. Honorable Speaker, as a committee, we felt in our recommendation that the Inspector General's Inspectorate of State Corporation to carry out a review of all entities with pending court cases, prepare a comprehensive status report, and submit to the National Assembly with a copy to the Attorney General, who will initiate the process of fast-tracking the conclusion of the cases within reasonable time, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, there is also the cross-cutting issues on delay accountability of interest. The committee noted that some state corporations were in breach of Section 71 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and in the attendant regulations that require surrender of interest within 7 days upon conclusion of the assignment for which the said interest was issued. Honorable Speaker, what we saw cutting across is that most of these agencies take as long as beyond 7 days. Some take 2 years, some had even 4 years without surrender of interest. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, where the state agent has not surrendered interest, the committee recommended that the accounting officer, to ensure interest advanced to officers is surrendered within the stipulated period, and to Honorable Speaker, that within 6 months of the adoption of this report, the accounting officers who will have failed to take necessary steps to ensure that all outstanding interest within their jurisdiction are recovered from the due date should be surcharged the full amount due. Because, Honorable Speaker, the onus of collection of interest is by the accounting officer. And if the accounting officer fails to recover the interest, Honorable Speaker, let him be surcharged. Honorable Speaker, let me now look at the specific issues that that affected specific institutions. Kenyatta National Hospital, Honorable Speaker, had issues with unconfirmed borrowing balance. Honorable Speaker, the issue was addressed in the previous PIC. However, it contained in the 24th PIC report. But, Honorable Speaker, the National Treasury and the KNH were yet to reconcile. Despite the fact that it had been captured in the 24th report, they were yet to reconcile and come up with a true figure of the status of the loan. It has taken, Honorable Speaker, a loan which was taken in 2006 to have the subsidiary grant agreement to be converted from an on-lend loan to an on-grant loan, Honorable Speaker, that was fully signed on 4th of August 2022. However, Honorable Speaker, the board's approval for passing the necessary book entries to correct the anomaly in the financial statements was granted in September 2022. Honorable Speaker, there was also the issue of land under property, plan and equipment, Honorable Speaker. There is a parcel of land, Honorable Speaker, at Kenyatta National Hospital that was excised off the main land of KNH. The committee observed that the plots were irregularly, Honorable Speaker, exercised and allocated to third parties in previous years. The matter was discussed in the 19th PIC report, but Honorable Speaker, National Land Commission was yet to effect the recommendations of PIC. Honorable Speaker, the second issue on the issue of land under KNH was that the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, Honorable Speaker, had taken up the investigation of the land on the foresaid land, but it had not finalized on the matter, Honorable Speaker, as at the date when we are reporting this PIC report. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, we felt further to the 24th report recommendation that within 3 months upon adoption of this report, the accounting officer of the National Land Commission, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, the Inspector of State Corporations, KNH itself, Honorable Speaker, and the Committee on Implementation to fast track, Honorable Speaker, the process of implementing the committee recommendations in the 24th report. In the 24th report and our report thereon. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, combining the resolutions of this report together with the report of the 24th PIC report to be fast-tracked since they are the same. Honorable Speaker, there is also the matter of inconsistency in depreciation of assets. Honorable Speaker, the hospital erred in applying the reducing balance rate of 30% instead of the prescribed straight line method of depreciation, which misrepresented, Honorable Speaker, the carrying value of computers and related accessories. Honorable Speaker, in the next report which we'll be looking at, this effect is there, such that, Honorable Speaker, the hospital adopted the straight line, adopted, Honorable Speaker, the reducing balance method of depreciation, which brought most of the assets to zero. And, Honorable Speaker, without anticipating debate, this observation is reflected in the next report, where they depreciated assets, Honorable Speaker, to 1.4 million shillings, and an asset of 146 million was sold at 1.4 million shillings. It is in the report that's going to come. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, what do we say? Our recommendation, Honorable Speaker, is the committee reprimands the then accounting officer and then officers in the accounting and internal audit departments involved in preparation and review of the financial statements for failing to adhere to the requirements of IPSAS, that is International Public Sector Accounting Standards, as prescribed in the PFM Act Cap 412A. Honorable Speaker, the hospital as well also had unconfirmed NHIF fund receivable balance, which is now, Honorable Speaker, the reconciliations between NHIF, what the NHIF was demanding, and themselves, Honorable Speaker. This reconciliation is yet to be finalized. Honorable Speaker, despite the fact that, Honorable Speaker, NHIF is now collapsed into SHA. Honorable Speaker, the next agency we looked at Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Because of the many issues, Honorable Speaker, I had on KNH, I had to go now to the next issue, next agency. Honorable Speaker, the other agency we looked at as Kenya Medical Supplies Authority, that's KEMSA. In specific issues, we have issues with the staff costs. The committee observed that a similar audit query had been raised in 2016-2017, and our current observation, Honorable Speaker, are as follows. One, the board had approved establishment of 341 staff, and in financial year 2016-17, the KEMSA had 329 in-post staff, after receiving 40 more in financial year 2017-2018. The post figure stood at 324, against an expected staff figure of 369 if no staff had exited. However, KEMSA did not provide any documentary proof that the 45 staff had exited KEMSA in 2017-18, either through retirement, natural attrition, dismissal or resignation. This could lead to existence of ghost workers. Honorable Speaker, we went through and came up with the following recommendations: that within 3 months upon adoption of this report, the Auditor General should carry out a comprehensive special audit on the staff and payroll of KEMSA for a period of 5 years for 2017-18 to 2021-22, both years inclusive, to establish the status of staffing and report to the National Assembly on the findings. Should the report establish any irregularities, then accounting officers should be reprimanded and held accountable for any financial losses during their tenure. Honorable Speaker, there was also the issues that we picked up on expired drugs. That, Honorable Speaker, a similar issue which is recurring year in, year out, was cited by the PIC in 2016-17 and discussed in the 22nd report. However, our committee, Honorable Speaker, notes as follows: that 1, the expiry of drugs was not due to breach of contractual terms, but due to change in drug regime, indicating that poor planning by KEMSA. The agency should ordinarily know which drugs are obsolete and which drugs are going to be introduced into the market. Honorable Speaker, KEMSA has the ability to know when is the drug going to expire, but they decide, Honorable Speaker, to have one way of disbursement of drugs, such that if that way is not observed, then they cannot do any other way. So, Honorable Speaker, by virtue of being rigid in decision, it caused the agency, Honorable Speaker, to have a huge stock of drugs which are expired. Honorable Speaker, KEMSA cannot even go on its own way and say this medicine or drugs which are about to expire might be donated, might be given to any needy institution. Instead, it has to go one way. I think the opinion of the committee was, Honorable Speaker, that KEMSA needs to be versatile and observe that likely challenge. KEMSA indicated that they had devised strategies to determine the demand of drugs from across the counties, which included constant engagement and collecting data to avoid expiry of drugs, as well as other strategies, such as prioritizing on shelf life of drugs. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, what did we recommend instead? The committee then feels that the accounting officer should be reprimanded for laxity in minimizing wastage of public funds, though procurement and stocking of expired drugs. Honorable Speaker, it's a decision of the accounting officer to know for how long is he procuring the drugs, and the drugs are being procured whose shelf life is of a particular duration. That, Honorable Speaker, within 3 months upon adoption of our report, the Auditor General should carry out a compliance audit on procurement of drugs, stocking, accountability, and the destruction of expired drugs by KEMSA for a period of 5 years from 2017-2018 to 2021-2022. Honorable Speaker, that within 3 months of adoption of this report, the management of KEMSA should submit to the National Assembly a copy of the documented strategies approved by the board and the Principal Secretary, State Department of Medical Services. Honorable Speaker, what also has come out of the inquiry we did on the board expenses, Honorable Speaker, was the issue of the board expenses. Honorable Speaker, the response by KEMSA was too general rather than addressing the specific audit query raised on sitting and lunch allowance, Honorable Speaker, of 1.6 million shillings paid to 4 board members, which were not supported by invitation letters and minutes of the meetings held. Honorable Speaker, 2, KEMSA has continued to experience serious governance issues arising from deliberate lack of substantive office holders as indicated. KEMSA has not had a substantive board chair since 9th of October 2015, following the expiry of the second term of the then chair. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, what do we recommend now that they did not have the chair, but they went ahead and spent money on the board expenses? Honorable Speaker, our recommendation is that the committee then reprimands the CS for failing to bring to the attention of the appointing authority the vacancy of the board chair and the CEO. There was both lack of the board chair and there was also no CEO within those times of period. Honorable Speaker, that within 3 months upon adoption of this report, The PS Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the Inspector of State Corporations, should ensure that the then accounting officer who authorized the payment of the sitting and lunch allowance at 1,660,999 to the 4 board members which were not supported by invitation letters and minutes of sitting held is surcharged for the amount so paid. Honorable Speaker, there was also the issue of land that we observed in KEMSA, that the committee observed as follows. The agents are taking time to register the title deed despite having the necessary documentation. The situation has not changed over 7 years now. Down the line, the committee was concerned that KEMSA had engaged Priority Management Limited as conveyancing experts.
Government and the county. Is that the National Treasury, Mr. Speaker, seems to be holding brief only for the national government, and it does not in many ways consider county government as part and parcel of it. Mr. Speaker, it is time that we consider seriously how we can